Hello and welcome back to the Real Estate Unlimited podcast. My name's Sarah Steinmetz.
Brian Schuby.
Carrie Steele.
Bill Jones.
And we're the Jones Home Team.
And this is episode 69, and we got an action-packed thing, especially Sierra. She's going big here with homes.com. I can't wait. So she's always giving me a hard time about covering the serious stuff. Now she's Miss Serious. I'm trying to be lighthearted today. So
somebody's got to do it.
Right. I'm getting into fun stuff here. I've got AI. Is that good or bad for real estate? You know, deepfakes, things like that. I got a couple examples. Can't wait to show that. Carrie's got some cool pictures here, ignoring spaces in your home or how to best kind of utilize them, I think. And then Shuby, we kind of touched on this, I think, a little bit before, but Fannie Mae or Trump's ordering
Fannie and Freddie
to
buy mortgage bonds.
Bunch of money here anyways. So who's kicking it off here? Carrie, right?
I will. All I love that whenever we go serious, then they're fun and lighthearted. Yeah. And then when we go, it just happens.
Rolls.
I don't know. Yeah. And there was nothing on the paper prior to, so we just go at it. So ignored spaces in your home. And I actually got this from another real estate agent. I think she's in Illinois or Indiana, and she posted, I'm finally getting around to some of the the overlooked spaces in my home, and it was a spice cabinet like up above her microwave. And so it was just, wiping it out, restocking the shelf and everything like that. I'm like, oh my God, what a good podcast
That'd be
topic.
cool,
Like
yeah.
the ignored spaces in your home, because we all have them.
Right.
I'll be the first to say mine is like my entryway, my hallway. It's a really long slingshot hallway. And a couple years ago, I stripped everything out of there, painted it, painted the doors black and the hallway light, changed out the light, thinking that would, entice us to like organize it or be more. All the boots and shoes are all still there, and
Sure.
we don't hang our keys. We wait till we get inside. But just, taking that extra step to make things cozier, to make them your own. So the first thing, storage spaces. So if you take a look at this image, I don't know what you're watching this on, what platform, but there is an image here. And the first image is just bare naked, looks like to be maybe like a mudroom closet or master bedroom closet. And how do you make that space more usable or even just more appealing? Maybe you don't even use the space, but you want to like make it a lesser of an eyesore. And so what they've done in this image is they've brought in what looks to be an antique piece of furniture that was plucked maybe either from a very expensive high-end online store.
Yeah, that's way more than just running to IKEA real quick. That's some pretty nice stuff right there.
Or something that they found maybe at a flea market, or like a fancy final marketplace. And then they've incorporated some pottery and some baskets, which is probably unrealistic for most families, but I can also envision book bags there.
Broke.
Yes. Maybe books, things for, exactly. Or just a really cool place to, put some of your belongings when you first come in from outside, or, again, it could be even a pantry if you look at it like that too. So, but just really cool. And you can have a room like this and it can be completely blank, or you can customize it and make it warmer with different furnishings. So I do
like the sconce on the wall makes it so much cozier.
Mm-hmm. And would you walk into Lowe's or Home Depot or one of those big box stores and see that wall lamp and be like, wow, that would look really great in my pantry or my master closet? No, right. But how cool to think outside of the box and put something like that in there. It just warms the space up so much.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. I could just imagine all my kids' stuff just jammed in there.
I know. Same, like running shoes and books and big coats just jammed into the little cubbies.
But at least it can be organized now compared to just the shelves.
Yeah, that's way better use of the space.
Even just the color contrast. Look at the browns and how it warms up. It doesn't look like they changed the paint color. They obviously changed the floor color, but just warming up that space and making it...
Now, before we flip to the next one here, I'll ask you, girls. So is this coming back? I love real wood. I think that's amazing here. That seems like everybody's trying to go. That would have been painted white years ago.
Oh, yeah.
There's no way that would be
3, 4, 5 years ago. That would have been white.
Well, I think you did an episode that said that cheap furniture was out and that like
people are investing in nice
they
pieces.
Want the antique pieces and they want, which I did that too, like that whole like nobody wants your crap, but hell, if you have something like that, that's an heirloom piece. We definitely want that crap.
Right. See, I can get behind that. I love that.
And like the real wood and textures and stuff like that, I think is definitely coming back in.
Good.
Compared to, because what do they call it? Like
Victorian?
millennial gray or something, which was like the 2020 when everyone had nothing to do and they were repainting their houses.
Everything.
And it was all just gray, everything.
White trim, really clean lines, minimal everything, just wide open spaces, because we millennials or whatever I'm classified as, we went through the 80s and the 90s where every shelf was full of crap, every corner, every nook, every cranny, double wallpaper, triple wallpaper, and then pictures on top of that. It's like, oh my God, can we just have a white wall with nothing on it, please? So that
Right.
my shoulders don't go into the shelf every time I walk past it. And then all the teddy bears,
All
and,
the bears.
and teacups fall off
all
of
the
it. But
things.
now that's all coming back. So
Yeah.
if you
It'll,
go,
and I'm sure that gray and minimalism will be back in another 5 or so years.
Yeah, it'll just seem to
it's just such a
recirculate constantly.
cycle.
and I'm having that vision too, walking through like some of these houses that are just now starting to go on the market that maybe are owned by, and I'm being ageist. What is that? What would be the word? I don't know. Like
I don't know.
when somebody has your age, what generation are you? Are you Gen Z?
Gen Z, I think.
I need a
have
list.
no
Gen
idea.
Z-ism.
We need a list. Gen
Yeah.
Zism. They're making their rooms like grandma-ish. So
Oh,
yeah,
for
yeah,
us,
we talked
grandma's
about
for
that.
our
so
generation, and so they are
Yeah.
doing like those ducks are back, like the
The Portuguese?
concrete,
Yes.
yes, and the with the blue bows and stuff, like
Yeah.
that's like
You
back.
dress
Is
them with
Lil
a
into
little
that stuff?
bonnet.
Gee, I
And like
You
the
talk about
grandma,
don't have any at my
geese that
house
they
yet.
dress
so-
up?
but like
Yeah,
yes,
like on your front porch.
Oh
like
they
my
are
Lord.
back.
That was
they
a
are
thing for
back
so
bigger
long.
than
Yeah.
they
they're
are
back.
like so back. And then
But people had whole businesses about selling clothes for those things. Am I thinking of the right thing?
Yes.
Right? Yeah. It was
Oh,
like,
I'm sure there's a million Etsy shops right now that can
Selling-
customize your porch goose.
I don't even want to search it because I don't want that showing up on my computer.
I mean, I'm sure they'll
'Cause
be at
then
the
you're
flea
gonna
market
have
this
one.
year. Yeah.
That's hilarious. I didn't know that was coming back
Oh,
already.
I'm so sidetracked. Sorry, guys.
But I can get back
No,
behind
under
the
the
real
stairs.
wood. I can get.
Yeah,
I can go for
cottage,
that.
I love that.
grandma core and
Yeah.
wood. and
Grandma
all that
core.
are
I could get back
I
into
love that.
flipping houses and stuff. If you could actually redo a house like that, that would be like
Yeah.
actual woodwork. That'd be amazing.
That's beautiful.
All right, that's one picture. We're not going we're not
Under
moving
the
very well
stairs.
here.
Okay. This one, it looks like they mostly kept the space
Okay,
the
so
same.
this is mine only with more. I have more
Yes.
crap under there.
That's
currently.
everybody's. Not too many
This is
people.
awesome.
If they're selling their house, it looks like the right. If they're living there, it looks like the left. Period. Or if
Right.
it's flipped, if you're
Only I
looking
have
at it.
78 more banker boxes shoved in there.
Yeah. I do like that they capped those 3 wood beams, that they like enclosed it and made it like one. That looks cleaner. That looks cleaner. And then
Yeah, that to that. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Next one is hallways. So this is a before. So these guys, this is Sabrina and Andrew on YouTube, and they have like millions of subscribers. And I don't know if they just like flip as a job.
Ooh.
But yeah, this is what they did with it.
Okay,
So like
And that's
Or-
so simple.
so simple.
It's
You
so
like
simple
number
to do.
1 or number 2?
Yes.
Number 1.
Yes. And like I wouldn't put pictures there because it's so narrow, but now I want to go home and put pictures there because my hallway. This is exactly what my hallway
Well, I
looks
love
like
it's
the
all the
before.
old timey. This is grandma. You know what I mean? I have paintings from my
is.
grandma just like that you could slap back on the wall and be trendy again.
Yeah.
Right.
Look at me.
And literally like doing.
They didn't even change out the lights on that one. They changed the door,
Oh yeah.
but they kept the lights the same. And look how those lights
painted,
pop.
painted the door and put up some wainscoting or whatever you call that. Wainscoting. What do you call that?
And the
Yeah, wainscoting.
the wood beams up top.
Mhm.
Whether
Oh,
those
yeah.
are whether those are faux or not.
I mean, they could
I'm
be
sure
faux.
they're
That's
fake.
a very.
but they
common
don't
thing
look
now.
like it. So
No, it's probably
It looks
foam
really good.
painted.
right.
That is nice though.
I
That's
love
weird.
it.
So yeah, if you like their stuff, and then this is a ChatGPT image that I created using kind of like the idea that I had for today's topic, and the bottom left one is inspired, I think, by Sierra's nook that she had
This one
in
here.
yeah.
I like that.
She was talking about how that attic space was turned into that like little cozy reading nook, and that's kind of a quirky space. So a lot of times, I don't know what Facebook groups you guys are on, but they'll be like, this is a unique space. How would you market this as a realtor? Or I just bought this house, like the top left, and there's this weird cutout. What the heck
Right.
should I do with that space?
Oh yeah, I get those
Just
on Facebook all the time.
Utilizing all the spaces in your home, whether you're buying, whether you're selling, or whether you're living there. You can improve your quality of life just by doing little things like this. And if you don't know, I mean, back in my day,
Yeah.
we would have magazines like Better Homes and Garden where we could go and see that. Well, now we have the internet. So just type in what you're looking for, or maybe take an image, take a picture of the space and upload it to like Google Lens or something. And maybe it'll show you some ideas on how you
Yeah,
can
with all the
improve
AI
your
stuff you can
space.
do nowadays, it does. I mean, Tara does stuff like that for all the time.
And you don't have to spend a ton of money. Like, just because it shows that, you can do your version of it. So you don't have to go spend $1 million on a brand new wooden beam from a barn, but maybe you can recreate it using, 2x4s and some paint. So
I like this till you get a great idea and then stand straight up and blast your head right into
I like that closet.
this.
Carol, you're gonna need to send me this.
yeah, so
Yeah, that's
that
pretty
has
cool.
We need that for our house.
like a pegboard on it.
Yeah.
That's great. Although that door is pretty wide. I don't know if that's
Yeah, it's
Right.
Not
kind of an
realistic, really.
oversized
Yeah.
door, but
that was
still very
AI
cool.
just taking
Good
liberties
things,
with real
yeah.
life pretty much.
I mean,
so.
hey, but it's still really cool, and you can use that space.
But this
under
too
the sink
is
too.
cool come picture time, but real life, there's a pile of shoes here,
Yeah.
400 book bags and Coach falling on the floor.
But at least it's not all on the floor.
Yeah, true, right. That's pretty
it.
cool.
That's my big topic. But yeah, I think those little details, and like Bill said, in real life, it's like how do you minimize that entry space, or that, because I think that's a space that drives everybody the most crazy is your walk-in
yes,
space.
for sure.
And you just have to change it with life.
Right.
So if you
But to your point, though, at least there's a space for, what do they say?
Right, yeah.
A space for everything, or home for everything,
Everything has its-
or whatever.
yeah.
Whatever
Has
the
its
expression,
home,
that
yeah.
expression.
Yeah, whether or not you actually keep it to that level of cleanliness all the time, at least the option is there. If you do have an extra second and it's really bothering you,
Sure.
then it's there and you can put everything away and whatever, instead of just being like, oh, we need to do something with this space.
Yep.
Like, just do it.
And I've tried everything to try to minimize the shoes at my front door. And I'm sorry, if you guys come over, you're going to get bombarded
You're gonna
with
fall over
30
them.
pair
Yeah,
of
right.
shoes.
Yeah.
I remember that, a place for everything and everything in its place.
Yeah.
Everything's
That's
never
what it
in
was.
its
No, it
place.
was never
it's
the same.
close. Close to its place.
All right, cool. Those are some good ideas there. All right, who are we going to next, Shub?
Yep.
I think so. So last week, Donald Trump announced a plan to have Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac purchase $200 billion in mortgage bonds.
That's it?
Yeah. Well, some just kind of quick reading. Some experts don't think that that's big enough of a jump with how big the market is to actually make a huge impact or a long-standing impact. But obviously, he thinks otherwise. So,
So they want more, but yeah.
Well, I don't know if they want more, but they're thinking that this amount isn't going to have enough of an impact
gotcha,
to keep it going, I guess.
It's a start, I guess,
it'll have a short-term impact, but they're not sure about the long-term impact. So he's saying that Fannie and Freddie have the Director of Federal Housing Finance Agency, which oversees Fannie and Freddie, confirmed that the firms would start buying these bonds. Early market reaction saw average 30-year mortgage rates fall to their lowest levels in nearly 3 years. I think I was talking with a lender, and I think they were under 6% for a little while.
Yeah.
So we'll see what keeps happening here. So a couple of kind of questions just kind of answer that. So a lot of people don't know what a mortgage bond is, or a mortgage-backed securities. So banks make mortgage loans to home buyers. So those home loans are then grouped into pools, which are then sold to investors. Investors receive streams of payments based on homeowners' monthly mortgage payments. So, you make your mortgage payment, and those investors make money off of that pool of loans that they had purchased then. And then why is this significant? So obviously, like we just talked, interest rates dipped quite a bit there. Housing affordability and mortgage rates. Mortgage rates have been elevated, hurting buyers and slowing home sales. Trump's plan aims to boost demand for mortgage bonds, which can push bond prices up and interest yields down. So when bond prices go up, the adverse happens to mortgage rates then. So they do the opposite. So they go down, which is what he's trying to accomplish there. And then, like we just talked, early trading suggests that directives help push key mortgage rates below 6%. The role of Fannie and Freddie. Fannie and Freddie have been under government conservatorship since 2008. After the financial crisis, the role is crucial in keeping mortgage credit flowing. Using them to carry out the policy shows direct government intervention in the mortgage market, which is a major policy move and not a routine monetary action. So it's not something that's done out of the normal, I guess is what you would say. And then market and political impact. Even if the actual reduction in mortgage rates is modest, the announcement signals aggressive federal action on a key economic issue ahead of the election. So obviously, I'm sure there's more to it than just, hey, let's get
I'm
the
sure
interest
there's some
rates
political
down.
behind it. I'm sure.
So it's just one of those, something to keep an eye on. Hopefully, it does help drive interest rates down a little bit and, make housing affordability a little bit more affordable at the moment here.
We talked about one previous episode then too. They talked about coming out of conservatorship or whatever then too, which sounds awesome. But the fear of the article we read that the rates will actually go up then because it doesn't have that full backing. Well, it doesn't have the backing of the quasi-government program here then too. But if I'm an individual, I want a higher return. If I'm buying one of these mortgage-backed securities, you want a higher return, and it may end up driving the pricing up if they do come out of that.
Yep.
They don't want to buy out too much though, right? Because then we'll end up in like an 08 situation.
Right, yeah.
Because like if they do argue about how much is being done, is that the difference between in 08 and
Sure.
and staying out of 08.
I mean,
like
and then the other
short term.
the other side to this was, well, if we get interest rates going down significantly, and again, we still don't have the amount of homes we need, so what's going to happen to the prices again? We're going to drive those prices back up,
Right,
and
right.
we're going to be back in a similar situation where we were 4 or 5 years ago.
They're going to have to teeter-totter.
Interest rates are back down to 3%, but again, we don't have any homes available, so home
Where are
prices
they
are
going?
quadrupling, and
Yeah.
we're getting multiple offers and running around like mad people.
They have to be
Yep.
careful about how they
Yep.
approach that. Yeah.
I think what you were going on, Carrie, the part of the problem was those individual bundles were like just horrible loans. So it was a bunch of those like ninja loans, no job, no income, no asset loans. So there's 400 of these,
And who wants them?
subprime loans in this bundle. Well, I'm making rates up. The rates
Sure.
are significant, so it seems like a great investment, but then they're all garbage.
They're
So
all crap,
that was a
yeah.
huge part of that. So, which I don't think they're doing that now. I mean,
I would hope not.
I mean, I don't see a lot of buyers buying a house. I mean, some maybe they're buying more than they should, or
Yeah.
should this guy really be buying a house? But not like.
I was gonna say the last couple loans I've done, it seems like they're asking for a lot more information as far as like, again, bank statements, those sorts of things. The last one we had a text chain going with the buyer and the lender, and they were just asking. I mean, they were asking for a lot.
Like
Sure.
drilling them. Yeah.
Which is the process is hard, but ultimately I think it's for a good reason. Then
Yep.
they want to make sure that who they're lending money to is going to actually make the payment back then too. So
So I
Yep.
think that kind of gets rid of some of that fear, like what Carrie was talking about then.
Yeah.
well, cool.
So just
more to
something to
come
keep
here.
keep
I'm
an
sure
eye
it's
out on.
it's got to be political. It always is.
Yeah.
Like they're always just
Yeah.
trying to
Gain
just
votes.
Well, it's a midterm this year,
Yeah.
so who knows? They're probably going to run it as hot as they can until at least the midterms. So.
Yep.
Well, cool. All right. Well, on that serious note, let's go to another serious topic.
serious topic.
Serious Sierra today. What do we got?
Okay, so Bill's kind of beat the Homes, Zillow,
Realtor.com, all of them.
everyone,
Yeah.
all
yeah.
of them.
Compass. What else?
Drama
Yes.
into the ground, but
No, there was a million articles today. I
Oh.
could have brought up
Oh,
about
yeah.
Compass
Sure.
and everything
I'm
else and
sure.
anywhere. I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. Sorry.
no. So today I'm gonna focus more on CoStar and Homes.com because I saw an article on Inman, just talking about the spending that they have, the investment they put into Homes.com. As last week we were talking about how they're trying to be on the uptick and trying to be the number one place for the consumer sites and whatnot, and how even some of their reps will call trying to get us to buy their package and such, and like they're like, oh, we're the number one, yada yada, which maybe in terms of certain marketing investments they could be after reading these numbers and whatnot. I have no idea. I haven't looked into the other consumer sites. However, CoStar came out saying that they were going to be slashing the spending on their investment in Homes.com through 2030. In 2024, if you recall, like they had a Super Bowl commercial, like all the types
Which was
of things.
terrible. I don't know
Yeah.
if you remember. The commercial was awful.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they really tried to put Homes.com on the map. They made a $1 billion marketing investment, CoStar did, into Homes.com in 2024. And then following into 2025, they estimated about $850 million invested, which is still a huge number. And they claim they'll be cutting spending by $300 million in 2026 and over $100 million each year after that through 2030, all in part to hopefully aim towards more revenue than expense by the end of 2029.
They're just trying to get profitable, if I remember
What's,
correctly,
Right,
right? Yeah, they're
right.
just trying to get the.
Is it David Levy? Who's Eugene Levy's son? The one from Schitt's Creek, David.
Yeah,
don't
he's
know.
like
Yeah.
the
They're the ones that do-
spokesperson.
yeah.
Like I've seen a couple of those commercials
Oh, for
just in the
Homes.com?
last
Yeah.
the last
Yeah.
couple months.
Yeah, no, there was definitely a huge push in all of their marketing across the way. And then I think, at least personally, I feel like it was more recently within the past 6 months or so that they were excuse me, trying to get more into like our hands of trying to push their marketing and stuff on us, even sending stuff to the office and whatnot.
This is
like nice
somewhat
booklets
working.
and
Yeah,
stuff too.
Kind
yeah.
of working because
Yeah.
I was able to identify that actor belonged to Homes.com and
Right.
Reba belongs to Realtor.com, and like
Right.
obviously it's somewhat working because without trying to pay attention, I mean obviously I'm a real estate agent, but
Sure.
I still acknowledge that those actors and actresses
Yeah.
belong to those
Right.
websites or those
And I'm not
companies.
knocking them. I do think that they're doing a great job with the budget that they have. Maybe
Right.
not a wonderful job, but like they're really getting a reach and doing a lot of different avenues of utilizing that type of investment from CoStar. I do think it's kind of, if you conceptualize it into 2024 they started investing, and they're hoping to just even be in the
Like,
clear,
in the
by
clear.
2030, which is crazy to think about.
Well, they're not the big dog in the room, we know.
Right.
And they're
Right.
just trying to play, you know.
And
Well, they cut spending by $300 million. So how much more are they still spending? So if they're cutting $300 million and then $100 million the next year. So
Well, I mean, yeah, if you spend 850, you're still down to what, 550 million?
Listen,
Right.
Yeah.
Bobby and I had the same conversation this morning. I told him we have to cut our budget by that much.
300 million. Yeah.
Right.
yeah.
No, this is not on my.
right. Yeah, and then they kind of talked about CoStar stock as well. It's down roughly 10% from 1 year ago and about 30% from 5 years ago, which is also
Well, yeah, because
quite
if I'm a
interesting.
CoStar stock owner, I'm like, oh, we got this big
Yeah, no
homes.com
kidding.
acquisition. This is awesome. Then they do nothing but light money on fire for years. Like that's, yeah, I'd be a
Literally
little nervous
years.
about that as well.
Do you have to
Yeah.
spend money to make money, Bill?
You do. Actually, you do. I agree with that. But like, so like, the
But what
homes
are they spending money on?
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
those I talked about this last week. Those reps, they keep coming every time with a bigger and bigger offer.
Yeah.
I want to say last time it was they came and said they have the most unique visitors to their site, and then they showed this chart like the most unique visitors. So my argument to this guy was like, okay, well Zillow's already probably had these people on there. So you say by unique, it's the first time they've been to homes.com, which is great. But those people probably have been on Zillow for 10 years and
Sure.
are getting everything else.
Now
so.
they're like, oh, well, there's others besides Zillow?
Yeah,
What
so,
else
so,
is
so
there?
they go there. So yeah, they're touting as number one this huge pie chart, like that they're way above everybody. Unique visitors. But I'm sure Realtor.com, Zillow.
Are they
Trulia,
agents looking for their
Yeah.
listings to
Yeah.
see where else they are
to
listed?
see where it
Right.
posts then too. So
Yeah.
And I don't even go into the whole big war of CoStar and and Zillow and
lighthearted.
yeah, all the fun stuff. So
I just thought those are some interesting statistics,
Yeah.
kind of, since we've been talking about it, looking at what they've spent on their marketing budget over the past 2 years and what they're trying to do over the next couple of days.
yeah, it's wild. Have they called you guys for any of the marketing stuff? I know Bill just said the other day he got a call, and I get calls.
We just got
constantly,
mailers not
so.
that long ago, right after Christmas.
The mailers have been pretty cool. I don't remember exactly what they were. A couple of those mailers were neat, though. They had, I think, had your actual listings in them and stuff like that. Maybe I don't.
And I'm
I don't
sure they
remember,
spent
but
some money on that.
I'm sure $300 million are you're going to be getting those next year. So
I know I got an email last week or so that said that they were offering a $50 gift card to if you agree
Yeah.
to do
Yeah, sit
like
through
a
their
sit-down
thing.
meeting with them for their pitch or whatever.
That's why Bill did it.
no, I don't. No, I literally. So I got that exact same text, and I responded. I said, "I would love to sit through your pitch, but I've been through it like 4 times now. Is it anything different?" Like, "Oh yeah, of course, it's better and this and that." And I'm like,
Right.
"No." I'm like, "What is seriously different than the last year, 2 years or something like that?" Well, the pricing's gotten better. I'm like, "Well, it's better. It got a lot better because I'm still not signing up
Yeah,
yet." So,
No kidding.
oh man. All right, cool. All right, you good there?
Yep, that's what I
All
got.
right, I love it. So we'll have you do serious stuff every week now.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Done.
Totally.
All right, I'm touching on AI. So we talked about this a long time ago here. So imagine grandma's buying a house, and then suddenly she gets a voice message or a video or something like that saying, and it's her grandson, they need help doing something, or from the title company saying, I need you to send money to not A, but now B, or don't use this routing number. So it kind of gets scary into what these places show. And I don't know if you guys will be able to hear this or not. Hopefully it works. Probably have to edit it here so everybody can see. So just for an example of what AI can do, and it's super simple. I haven't done it myself. I'm obviously going to play with this now that I know that's a thing. And I'm sure you guys have seen some of this stuff.
We're
But
entering an era in which our enemies
So,
can make it look like
not to be
anyone
political
is
at all,
saying
but-
anything at any point in time,
so
even if they would never say those things.
to me, it looks like Obama, sounds like Obama.
For instance, they could have me
Go a little
say
bit
things
His
here.
like,
eyes are a little.
Yeah, a
this-
little wonky, but
what?
I'll just fast forward a little.
Like Jordan Peele. Mm-hmm. This is a dangerous time. Moving forward, we need to be more vigilant with what we trust from the internet.
So there's quite a few
It's a
different
time when we need to
examples here. Morgan Freeman. This
Oh,
one too.
yeah.
I'm not Morgan Freeman, and what you see is not real. Well, at least in contemporary terms, it is not.
And this is kind of older than too. So this isn't. Some of the newer stuff is even more
Yeah.
incredible than this at this point then
Would
as
you
well.
believe me?
So then I'll show you what this guy actually looks like doing this here then. This is the guy that actually was.
I am not Morgan Freeman, and what you see is not real. Well, at least in contemporary terms.
So if you're an
it's not.
agent, can you use this to have fun to showcase have Morgan Freeman talking about your
mean-
house, or I think you might get in a little bit of trouble like that using
For
someone
our
like this.
industry,
But
yeah, for our industry, it's fun, but when you look at scams and
yeah,
if you got that video sent and it was a picture of, instead of Morgan Freeman, their grandson that they pulled off of Facebook or TikTok or something. Now it's like, oh shit, it's real. It's real.
Which I won't go into this here right now, but this program, I don't know, I haven't used it at all, but it's just someone said zebracat.ai. You upload like a minute's worth of a couple seconds of your voice even, and it can completely clone your voice. You can upload video and kind of turn it into you then as well. So this guy's using something different here then too.
This artificial intelligence lets you speak with any.
Not a very good Trump,
any
but
celebrity voice in real time. Just tremendous real time.
But the question is, who really is considered to be a celebrity?
Turns out, you can train any voice you want, even your own, and we'll look at it later in the video.
Now y'all listen up. As you can see, it doesn't sound exactly like them. You know why? Because you can't change the voice, but you can't change the way they deliver their lines.
Okay, so let's get Freddie.
So I mean that's just crazy to me to what you could use that for. So what I heard,
and it's so early on that it will get better, and that's the scary part. Like that's the really scary part.
So, and that's from a marketing standpoint then too. So what I heard, if you're using Taylor Swift, you can't use her likeness, her name, or whatever. You probably couldn't use, but you can use people that have passed, like user, John, whoever. You can have
John
Kennedy, Abraham Lincoln talking about your house, or whatever, something like that. So you can use unless it's some kind of copyrighted, protected thing, but. I think there's a ton of things you could do that would be fun with that.
It's fun, but it's scary.
It is very scary, but anyway, so in a serious note, from the real estate standpoint, you already touched on this. If you get a call from your nephew, from your grandson, something like, hey, I'm in trouble, I need money. My grandmother used to fall for stuff like that all the time. That was before any of this AI stuff used to be around. And then,
but if the phone number, if your son's phone number came up on your cell phone and it was the voice of your son, but it was not your son, like in that moment of panic, oh my God. And especially if he said, oh, I'm at blank, like school, like, he identified where he was at, and you're like, oh my God. Yeah. But none of that was real. I mean, I would fall for it personally, especially if I check the location. I'm like, holy shit, that's where they're at. Yep. Yes. Here's $500. Well, whatever.
Here's $300 million I saved in marketing. So.
That's my budget. I'm just saying.
But yeah, from a title company standpoint, I know they're real worried about that. You have to send sometimes a little bit of money, sometimes tons of money to purchase a home. And you get a video email from somebody, or just something that sounds, just pick on Lisa from Assured Title calls. Oh, never mind, I told you the wrong numbers. And it sounds exactly like her. They can probably spoof the number. And yeah, that's, I guess, my recommendation always be to, you don't trust any link that gets sent to you. Don't call the number that's sent to you from that, pick up Google an actual real number. Use a real number that you actually know and call them and verify that that's actually real. That nephew, that kid, that title company, to make sure it's
Bobby just had another one. We were talking about that one scam where they sent you the license, or you looked up the license. He had one and it said, me and my husband were not in the same state, and they wanted to go look at a house here, and they couldn't get cell phone reception, but they wanted to do a Zoom. And Bobby's like, they're so dumb. He's like, I'm literally going to message them back and be like, hey, was in telecommunications for 23 years. If you can Zoom call, you certainly can make a phone call. Like, it requires so much more bandwidth to do a Zoom call than it does just to do a phone call.
Wild. Yeah, people try. Then
and
the
he was
WhatsApp
like, he's
stuff.
like, what do you think? And I'm like, well, keep going back and forth. I was like, and kind of be shitty with them, because it sure sounds like we're going down a different trail.
Right.
Like, just ask them the qualifying questions, but be firm with that. And then when he did get a little further in, that's when he started to get mad, because he's like, they're literally wasting my time. I'm like, just have fun with it.
Yeah, no, it's fun. And you've just recently talked about the one too, the gal that wasn't real and sent the fake ID and all that stuff, that wanted to sell land.
Which I'm glad you did, because then it was top of mind. Right. Like we all have to keep ourselves on our toes and like be educated about what could be. And yeah, it sucks if you're asking an 80-year-old seller to confirm something 3 times, but we just have to make sure.
Well, can you imagine? So we're in just backwater Northwest Ohio little market thing. Can you imagine like what big city, high dollar agents and stuff are dealing with right now? I can't even imagine. So if they're trying to get you to list a couple $100,000 property, if you could get Ryan Serhant to list a $10 million property and somehow get escrow money on that, and it's nuts.
That's sometimes what I'm grateful that we're in. Backwoods, Northwest Ohio.
But how do you get, I guess I haven't even thought about this yet. How do you get past that? Like, how do you cut through the BS with that video? You get a video that looks like...
Just stay educated.
I mean, that's one of those where I almost, like that driver's license, I mean, I took a screenshot of it and uploaded it back into ChatGPT and said, is this fake? And it literally said, yes, it's fake. Here are the reasons why. Right. So maybe, I guess you could try that with one of those videos.
So fight fire with fire is what you're saying. Use the AI to find the fake AI.
Like, just upload it back and be like, is this video AI generated? And I mean, I would assume it would.
But as often as ChatGPT is wrong, though, too, it's how many times I'm like, are you sure? Oh, no, you're right. I'm wrong. So I don't know.
No, it's going to get really
idea.
good. That's the scary part.
Yeah.
It's just going to get better and better and better.
You know how they used to put like water? I'm just thinking out loud. I have no idea. Like the little water stamps on like the news, like, Channel 5 News, and they put that on there. Can you, hey, this is actually officially from Bill Jones, Carrie Steele. That
Right.
I don't know.
Maybe.
There you go. There's $1 million idea. Someone needs to take that and run with it. So we got to verify it. So, all right. Well, that's all I got with it. I had a ton of others here, and I could bore you all day with those, but I thought they were fun. I mean, they had stuff that, it was Taylor Swift. It was, I didn't show you the one here. This for the ladies here.
Yeah.
We'll end on this one here. This one was fun, but so I was thinking, I got my boy David Beckham. Him and I hang out a lot.
Malaria isn't just any disease. It's the deadliest disease there's ever been.
I feel like we could use this for marketing.
Se dice que ha matado más de la mitad de la población que ha existido.
I don't even know what language that is.
وما زالت تقتل طفلا كل دقيقتين.
Mais nous pouvons y mettre fin. Nous savons comment, nous en avons la possibilité.
But you get the idea. I mean, you could just pop it in there. So our marketing then too. So why not just do it in multiple languages? And because you never know where people are going to be coming from. So
True.
Like part of me says I don't want to use AI at all because I fought it tooth and nail. And if
you're
you guys
all in
remember,
now.
I was like ready to throat punch somebody when they used my picture without permission. But I'm like, my pictures are on Facebook, my videos are on TikTok, I've done live videos, all my stuff's out there. So like, unless I'm giving permission to something, which we all are, like if we agree to those terms that are like 15 pages
any
long,
app you download,
they have all of our stuff. I mean, you're giving them permission to use all your pictures, you're giving them permission to use videos, and a lot of it's a roadblock for us. We can't move forward unless we agree. We don't want to agree, but we have to agree because we can't do XYZ without. And a lot of those apps are that way. So it's like a lot of my stuff's out there. I'm not.
Yeah, you can't.
I'm not letting them scan my eyeballs
point.
yet, but maybe I am, and I don't know it.
You probably are.
I was gonna
probably.
say your phone if you have the.
Yeah, front facing
face,
camera. It's
the Face ID or whatever.
Oh yeah.
That gets your eyes.
Well, hello.
Right. Well, I'm sure they can probably upload here something with this. So then just made me think of Mr. Beast. One of his biggest growth, and was doing this here, like this Beckham thing. They started doing his channel, exact same channel, didn't change a thing, but doing it in multiple languages. So it's like in Arabic, it's in Spanish, it's in French, it's in whatever. And that grew his channel by like exponentially, just be able to have it in those different native languages, but did nothing. But he got like famous people from those markets to do the voice for him then too, because it was like whoever did the voice of like the cartoon Spider-Man, and it was like in Brazil, like that guy's from there, so everybody knows this guy's voice. So they made Mr. Beast voice this guy's voice in Brazil, so it just blew that channel up. So we need to start doing this podcast in like 48 different languages. Well,
or 3
or not. We'll stick with this. Just use a little dumb thing. So. All right, well, we'll leave it there. That's episode 69. Jump back in here to episode 70. What are we going to talk about there?
I don't know.
Are
yet. We going serious and they're going lighthearted?
I don't know. Probably. We probably should do that then.
Can't do it twice in a row.
Yeah, let us know what you want to hear. Like, share, do all the things, and we will see you next time. No, I lost the button. I'll just cut that out.
No, I love it. Leave it. You got to leave it.
There it is.
You have to leave that. That's great.